Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to Jamtalk. So I'd like to introduce to you the speaker tonight. There was Geeva. So a little bit about Geeva. I knew her. At one time, she kept on telling me she had this NGO non-profit volunteering what she's doing in the comment section in one of the posts that I've been posted. So it attracts my attention because I've heard people say they clean their house, clean their car, but talking about cleaning the beach is very seldom. So it actually attracts me. So I told her, why not I invited her, why not you come to my Jam Talk and give a talk on this? So even that not much people, it's not very much of an Asian culture to learn how to pick up trash, but it actually is very interested on me. I mean, most important is I'm the one who interested, right? So I told her it's okay. Don't worry about the audiences. Even if not much turning up, I'll be there for her because I want to learn a lot of things from her, especially her passion on doing this. Because when talking about volunteers, my mother always told me volunteers they do things for free, not because they are worthless, but because they are priceless, right? So let's welcome Jiva to introduce herself with her own words and the things that she wanted to share tonight.
All right. Hello, everyone. And thank you so much, James. Okay. I'm so happy to see all of you. Some of you, I think we are connected on LinkedIn, but have not met. So this is the first time the virtual meet. And James and I has been friends on LinkedIn for this last couple of months, and we started engaging. And I quite actively engage on James' post. And this is how we encountered each other. Something he mentioned, and I had to inject in about my clean beach there. So that's how the whole idea. Well, currently, what do? Is I run my own training and consultancy company. My business is all about speaking about civility and social intelligence, but that's at the side. You see, what got James attracted when I said this? Hey, when I don't wear my working attire, I'm in this attire. I collect rubbish. I collect trash. Um, Not shy to say it, not embarrassed, but I actually use my hands to collect this trash. And we have been, I have to use the word we because we have been around since 2019 March. Right after this moment, we have been collecting trash, and we are called the My Clean Beach. Um, we are not an NGO at this point of time. We are just a bunch of volunteers who just love nature, just who loves nature, who just wants to have a clean beach, and who just thinks that we can make a difference. I mean, I've got some slides to show, but I just want to answer one question. What Vishanti said: how can you be who you are and go around do what you want to do? I think you just got to do a tap and listen and ask, what's close to you?
Mhm.
What's the answer that tells you? If you do what you love, it is no more a job, it's just become part of you. So I don't care what people tell me, Jiva. I've got heaps of questions. People ask me, hey, you do this, go around, talk to people and all that, and you go and collect trash out. What, man? What do you do this? I mean, and every time you keep collecting trash, it's not going to end. So my question is, what have you done? What have you done? I mean, what have you done at home? What have you done at your workplace? What have you done around you? Why complain about us volunteers who just love doing what we do? All right. So that's how this whole initiative started. But of course, there is a bigger reason why it went there. All right. Of course, I also want to say thank you to Fadrol and John, who's also our member with the My Clean Beach. Okay, they're also here. We are a very small community group. Yeah, we're very, very small. There's only about 10 of us that's part of this project team. There's only 10 of us. The rest are just people like you who have always come forward to listen to what we have got to say. People like you who say that, you know what, I'll collect the trash with you. Just literally people like you and me, just commoners. So with that, I want to take you a little bit back to history. I'll start out with who I am first. So please allow me to share a slide. Don't worry, it's not like a lot of slides. Very quickly, Jiva is quite a fast talker as well. So she gets into point and then she gets out. Okay, so allow me to share
Okay.
the screen.
Are you
Hold
able to share
on.
the screen?
Yeah, I can.
All
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Oh, very colorful, huh?
Mm. Okay, my first slide. Oops. my first slide itself is if you all, I'm actually from Kuantan, by the way, so I'm quite a beach bum. So this is a picture of Teluk Cempedak. All right, I just leave like about probably 7 minutes or probably 10 minutes from my home to go to this location, and every now and then this is where I am spending time at the ocean, just listening to the waves. Um, hold on. So why this matters to me the most is, all right, why ocean, why beach? Maybe because my dad told me at a very young age, listen to the waves, just listen to them, they heal you. So for me, I just connected to it. I just got connected to it. I just felt that, you know what, listening to the ocean, listening just to the waves, just ushering in and going off, ushering in and going off. And that was like, you know what, that brings me so connected to just Mother Earth. And I felt there's nobody in this world that I need to speak to except to the ocean. I felt that there was a connection, deep sense of belonging. And I thank my dad. My dad is 81 today. And he has brought me to this feeling that, you know what, love the nature. I'm so pleased with my mom. Okay. And she's a very greenery person. So that was my life back then, a home of nature. And that's what we do. Good moment, go to the beach. Bad moment, go to the beach. Or, a celebration is to the beach. Everything is here. And it all happened in Teluk Cempedak. And then when this started, in 2000, and I'm going to stop sharing for a while. In 2000 and is it 18? All right, 2018. I'm a big time complainer. I mean, I'm a big time complainer. I always will say, why people throw trash here? Why people throw trash there? I want to tell you something. When I left my hometown, okay, when I left my hometown, and my mom was driving me, and my parents were driving me up down to KL, to Kuala Lumpur. My mom told me this, hey, you better not throw trash on the street. The policeman will catch you. And I mean, like, come on, don't make funny jokes like that, No, I'm serious. The policeman will catch you. And I thought, like, of course, she's being funny to me because I'm the naughty one at home. I've got two siblings, elder and one younger. I'm the most hyper one. So she knows I'll be super naughty. So she's so worried that I'll throw trash around. I said, no, I'll never do that. Yeah, exactly. I never do that. So in 2018, all right. Oh yeah, just to add on, I have been to all the beaches around Malaysia because holiday means in my home is just going to the beach. So can you imagine? There's nowhere else holiday. It's just going to every corner of the beaches. So in 2018, I think it was December, I went away for a holiday to one of the beaches in North Malaysia. Not wanting to mention the name, all right, of the location, all right. I was just like berserk. I was like, what? Why is this place like this? Why is it so freaking dirty? And you know what's the interesting part? It's not the trash brought in by the ocean. It's the trash thrown by the human. How is that? And it's not even the monkeys. It's the humans. It's the humans' trash. Just name it. Well, we Malaysians, Michael, I just want to add on. We love to eat a lot of packed food. Yeah, so that's the Asian culture. So we had our nasi lemak packed food there. All right, we had the styrofoam packed food there, and everything not thrown in the dustbin, just under a tree. And of course, Geeva being Geeva, she was like, why so much of trash? We need to do something about it. Let's do it. And it was an impromptu decision. I got a few of my friends that say, hey, let's make a video together. So what video? They went like, just tell me how you feel about this trash together. And everybody was like, we're not even prepared with the script. I said, yeah, that's why it's called impromptu, So we just decided to do a video, and I made that decision then. We're going to clean the beach from 2019. And so it's a decision I made spontaneously right at that beach in the northern region. And it's a decision I decided not to take back because I felt it is not the trash that was the matter. It was the human's attitude that was the matter. All right, it's not the trash. The trash still comes. We eat, we throw, we buy things. If we can recycle, it's well and good. If we can't, it has to go somewhere. But the human attitude is something that needs to be educated. But that's the point, that's the point I realized. You can be anybody you want to be. You also can be somebody else you want to be. I believe in that double tap, listening to you. what stays inside you. So go for it. So personally, I'm a person who go after anything that I want. Even if I can't get it, I will go out and try and say, if I don't do it, then I know, at least I know I did it. So we started that in March 2020. So we started off with our first beach clean. And I'm going to show you the results here a little bit. Yeah, hang on there. Yep. So we started in March 2020. And of course, right up to December 2020, we have collected over 4 tons of trash. And the number of volunteers that came forward to support us was about 568 volunteers. And having said that, this is only around Selangor. This is only in Port Dickson. And this is only in Penang. This is just 3 states. Just 3 states. And we collected over 4 tons of trash. Right? You probably be wondering, like, you sure you got that much of trash? Yeah, we've got that much of trash.
You know, I should actually invite the Chief Minister of Penang to attend this talk. Quite a shame, seeing the size of the trash in Penang. Oh my God. Okay, all right.
No, the northern region I'm referring to is the bigger region. I don't want to mention that state is not appropriate. Yeah, but personally, my clean beach has not gone to that state yet. We have not gone to that particular state yet, but it is our intention to do it. It was in our intention to do it in 2020 because of the COVID. We have actually held back. Yeah, so we managed to collect just within these 3 different states. We managed to collect about 4 over tons, and in 2 locations, just in Selangor, we collected 1 ton each. Okay, so just let me show you here.
This Melati, she did mention that trash can turn money. I used to collect bottles during childhood days and can send to APET bottle. Oh, so you can get 50 cents for 5 Coca-Cola bottles. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, we do that as well. We recycle. I mean, we actually drop our trash at the recycle centers. But depending to which location, okay, to add on to that, you see, around the beaches that we go to, there are 2 kinds of trash that we find. One is the trash thrown by the humans. The other is the trash that's actually brought in by the ocean. Okay, and interestingly, when we say trash brought in by the ocean, we have found trash from our neighboring countries with the brand logo from which country, where is it from, packed item still intact, but just they thought, all right, you know, just dump it in the ocean, somebody will clear it up. It's in a pack. Who's going to eat? Not the fishes. It's just a trash, and the animals are just going to eat the waste. That's what it is. So can you imagine how thoughtful people are? No, people care them. People care less, because you know what? I just need to clear my trash. So going back to the location I said, where we collected each location 1 ton. All right, this is in 2 different locations in Selangor. We are happy to share the locations because we have actually spoken to the municipal about it. How can you have so much of trash in your place? All right, one location is Pantai Remis in Kuala Selangor. We collected 1.2 or 3, I can't remember, sorry, about 1.2 trash just in 5 hours of work. It was a lot of work. We had vehicles. It was 1.5 trash. And what's interesting, 80% is human trash. 80% is human trash. And what's the trash there? Again, nasi lemak wrappers, styrofoam, bottles, cans, diapers. Okay, picnic, when you go for picnic, you know, all the metal that you do, just nice, so nice to barbecue, makan after, sorry, to eat, and after that it just goes there. And the interesting part, at that particular location, everybody just throw it right at the bush area there. It was scary for us to go in, but we had to do it. And then the other location that we found trash brought in by the sorry James.
No, it's okay. The connection a bit slow.
James, ask a question.
I mean, the connection seems to be a bit slow. So I need to catch the right time, when you pause, I need to come in because, when you talk, the connection as well, some interference, but it's okay, no problem. I just wanted to ask, curious
All
to
right.
know, how do you all trying to dispose the garbage after being collected? Do you go for some money to fund your NGO, the existing NGO, or how?
Um, how would I say it? Fortunate or unfortunately, we are self-funded. We are self-funded. We are not being funded by anybody at this point of time. And how we dispose the trash is we work with the municipal very closely. See, the thing is, My Clean Beach, the brand, is quite recognized in the country today or in the few locations that we go, because what makes our work different is we just don't collect. We do more. Please allow me to share the screen so you get to see what additional thing that we have done. Okay. Right. So this is what I was saying. See, this is the location we collected. I think 1.1. Sorry, it's 1.1 ton. This is at Pantai Remis. Okay, this is a bottle that we found. This is another location at Pantai Batu Laut where we actually get a lot of trash brought in by the ocean. Okay, that means a lot of trash being dumped in. So we get those kind of trash here. One of it is this bottle as well. And what makes us different in what we do is we actually sort the trash. We just not only collect them, we sort the trash, we segregate them, and we actually get the statistics. From this, we will know what kind of trash is actually available in every part of the ocean. What kind of trash? Is it a neighboring trash or is it a human trash? So this is one thing that we do differently. And very interestingly, I like to share our statistics today are really appreciated by the universities, by the research bodies, and some international organizations, the larger ones, have been in touch with us because they want our data, because we do it very strictly to make sure. We even go to the extent and calculate how many straws, how many secret butts. Trust me, guys, it's a dirty job. It is a dirty job, but it's a fun job. So we enjoy doing this because the place gets clean. And just think about whenever you said, I want to go to a holiday paradise, I want to think of Phuket, all that. We have actually made Phuket in Malaysia in one of the locations. It was a remote area, one of the beaches. It was discovered. We discovered because we do recce's. Every time we look for a beach, we wreck it. It was a remote place. It was quite shabby at the beginning. The moment we cleaned the beach, what we saw was just Phuket. So why then go across the region when you can have it here? It all starts with each one of you. What can you do? It's just as simple as that. I can tell you, it's just as simple as pick up the trash. But not everybody wants to do that. Not everybody thinks that, collecting the trash is very stylo of, oh God, what a dirty job Geeva does, kind of thing. Yes, James.
There are a lot of newcomers here, so I like to shout out to the new people, new faces as well. So we have our principal here. So Hisham is one of the national school headmaster for primary school. So he was on a Jamtalk as well. So he shared a lot of things about school as well as an education person. So Hisham, maybe is there any particular things you want to ask from Geeva? Is there what attracts you to this session? Maybe you can share to the floor. Muted, Tuan Guru.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Captain James. Hi, everybody. Geeva, my name is Hisham. I'm from Ipoh. Well, I thank you again, Captain James, for giving this opportunity for me to join in. Well, today is a very interesting topic where, if I'm not mistaken, your sentence, a lawyer turned to be apa kutip sampah
kutip
correct?
sampah.
Yes,
Betul.
collecting trash.
Betul.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Trash collector.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is very interesting. Very
Mm-hmm.
interesting. I just joined in. My question is that I think you have already people have already posed this kind of question, that what transpired you to pick up this part-time job, if that is the case, that you feel that you can help to maybe nak bersihkan kawasan ke, ataupun that is something which is you find it very helpful to the community.
Okay. So maybe after this, our headmaster here will organize a trip for all his students, maybe 1,000 strength, to go and I think Ipoh don't have a beach, but it's okay. Maybe you will do some trash collecting, one of his school activity lah. I hope maybe you can learn from Geeva, what he's gonna do, and perhaps can join the NGO as well for Geeva to understand more. So shout out to other people as well. We have Natasha. Yes, hi Natasha. Hi, Natasha is from UK. So she joined this in a very last minute event, and of course she has been shared her writing on LinkedIn, and I did propose to her to join this session, and yes, she is here. So Natasha was I think is a mariner. So seaman lah. She's also a sailor like me, doing things on the ship. So now you can know that on the ship also have women, all right? So she's, I think, doing her studies now. So maybe Natasha, is there anything you want to ask a person like Geeva on what she's doing?
I haven't got anything particular to ask. I think what you're doing, Geeva, is fantastic. It's really inspirational. I think more people should be taking the initiative to go out there and pick up the rubbish. And like you said, not be thinking, it's dirty. We've got a planet to look after. Also, thank you, Captain, for inviting me. I really appreciate the opportunity. So like Captain said, I completed my cadetship. I went to Warsash in Southampton, and then now I've completed my cadetship, and I'm currently doing my top up to get my maritime management degree. And for my dissertation, which is mainly what's attracted me to this talk, I'm talking about the use of plastic in the maritime industry, particularly single-use plastic, and how I propose myself the regulations within the IMO need to be more stringent. They need to be better. They need to change Annex 5 to account for the amount of waste that we're receiving from ship. Because although plastic is banned from being thrown overboard, like you said, Geeva, there's so much still in the ocean. And although a lot of it comes from land, there is a lot still coming from our ships, be it accidental or on purpose. So yeah, that's really all I'm about. I haven't got any questions at the moment. I've just joined, but I will for sure put my hand up and put my questions out there when I do. But thank you for having me.
All right, thank you. No problem. Thank you for coming in somewhere. I mean, across the globe. So we are actually now in Malaysia, and it's 8:40 night time here. So yes. So maybe I can talk a little bit later on about ships, how they contribute to the garbage, which I hope so. It's not much, but yeah, I'll talk a little bit there as well. And yes, I'd like to shout out to other people. A quick one. Chris Chuang, maybe Chris Chuang, you can introduce yourself. Is there any things you wanted to learn from our Geeva here from this talk? Hi, Chris. Chris maybe is a little bit busy.
Hi.
Yeah. Yes. Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear. Everyone can hear you.
Oh, okay. Hi. Hi, everyone. I'm Chris. I'm in the printing industry. So yeah, like what the title of this talk was very sparked the curiosity in me. I believe, Geeva, what you're doing to conserve Mother Nature is very commendable and honorable. Yeah, so me being in the printing industry, of course, we use a lot of paper. However, our corporate clients are moving towards sustainable future. or sustainability. So they are talking about things like having printers or using FSC certified papers. Basically, for those that don't know, FSC is basically like for every tree that you chop down to be converted into paper, they will actually plant back another tree to, you know, it's a area to that does this. So yeah, but anyway, keep up the good work. Wish to know more about this awareness that you're doing. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much, Chris. We have David here. I think David is currently in China, so David can speak Chinese. Maybe David, you can introduce to us what is there any short one? How do you involve with this session, or perhaps anything you want to find out from the speaker, Geeva? Hi, yeah.
Hi
David.
everybody, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I jumped in very late.
No problem.
I was having a podcast interview, which was practically the same as what we are discussing here. My name is David, and sorry, I'm a co-founder of a consultant company, and also an ambassador for Industry 5.0. I'm currently also doing a PhD in the environmental engineering. I'm focusing on wastewater treatment using microbial electrochemical technologies. So we are sort of desalinating, creating energy from wastewater, and it's pretty interesting. I'm sorry, but I didn't get a chunk of what was talked about today, but I believe it was more of about recycling and how people can get into, you know, waste incentive programs. And it's practically what I was having a discussion with my guest on the podcast today. And she's from Waste Aid, and we're practically talking about how they help people to get into waste incentive programs and businesses. So I believe that we can all try and be carriers of this message, get into environmental advocacy, so that we can help to educate the public, because people really don't know what is happening. People know that there is a change, but they don't know who to blame. They don't know how to, you know, identify the problem. And also, I always ask my guests on the podcast that, how do we always package our message so that someone, a farmer in a village, can be interested in, you know, making a change? How do we package the message? Because people don't care about the economy, because really, I mean, they don't even have food to eat. 3 square meal, they don't have it. All they need is to get money. They don't care if they have to almost die to get food in the evening. So we have to also be very, let's say, skillful about how we send our message so that people can be interested. I believe that it's not that people are not interested in making a change, but sometimes life happens. So, but of course, it's not always the case, but I think that we are all doing a great job, and it's just an encouragement for us to know how to package our message. So thank you so much, Geeva, and for the work that you're doing. And I hope we can get in touch and do something together. Thank you.
All right, thank you, David. Yeah, so yeah, this is a very interesting platform whereby we exchange. I mean, our profile, LinkedIn profile, you can see the Google Sheet which I attached on the chat box. So it actually shows the interest of people are doing their passion. So you can actually update your profile as well and letting people know to connect with you, to have a common interest like what David is doing now by verbal, telling Geeva in an obvious way that they might have some collaboration in the future, right? So we'll continue with Sofian. Yep. Hi, Sofian. Hi, Inche Sofian. Hi. Can you introduce yourself a little to the floor? We have foreigners here from overseas. We are global citizen here. So all around the world, maybe you can share a little bit about yourself, and is there any things you wanted to learn from this session?
Just a quick introduction. My name is Sofian Yahya. I've been very interested in nature, obviously related to it will be in the environment. I'm sort of self-taught, for many years. I do a lot of jungle trekking, and I think it started from my interest in just doing jungle trekking, visiting a lot of waterfalls that are found deep in pristine jungle. And as a result of that, I took up photography as well. So I'm always taking photos of bugs and all sorts of stuff. And because of that, I've written articles for magazines related to nature. And also I've done some very interesting things. For example, Petronas actually sent me to the Imbak Canyon for a week a couple of years ago to do a profile on Imbak Canyon. Imbak Canyon is a pristine jungle that Petronas invested to try to create a new jungle reserve in Sabah. So I've been in projects like that. And the other project I was working on was for the Pengerang project in Johor, where they were building a big petrochemical plant. I was invited to actually take photos of the various aspects of the jungle and nature around there before the petrochemical plant destroy everything. So so I did what I could, and out of that actually it was compiled into a book. And yeah, these are the things I was doing more as a hobby, but actually in fact it became a big passion, taking a lot of my time. But I'm very happy to do that. So my interest is I mean, I don't know what is the overall general thing, but I'm very interested to see anything especially related to environment. I'm very keen now, especially on cleaning up the rivers and the beaches especially. Because I noticed now, since the COVID has happened, I mean, in the past 1.5 years, you can see many of the dirty rivers are suddenly now clean and with fishes. So that means we can do something, but it doesn't have to take a pandemic to do it. So I think on moving forward, what are we going to do? Because obviously we have lessons learned is being thrown right in our face because of the pandemic, where city rivers that used to be dirty are now very clean with fishes in it. And I think these are the things that are very interesting now. Do we suddenly, after the pandemic goes away, maybe in a couple of years, we go back to where we were, because we have an absolute opportunity, to keep the rivers clean, to keep the beaches clean before all the tourists come back. So I think we are actually in a fantastic transition to actually do something about it. Okay, so that's a short introduction. I think I'll just sit back and listen.
All right, thank you very much for your time. And we have a few interesting people here, including founder of Industry 5.0, Mr. Michael Rada, and as well as a very supportive husband of Geeva, Mr. John is here as well, a football person. So we have Sham Gil. Yes, Sham Gil, last one, Sham Gil and Suba. We just wanted to hear a little bit, a short one of yourself to the floor. And is there any things you wanted to learn from Geeva particular question as well? Yeah, Sham Gil, maybe you can introduce yourself. Maybe it's not here. It's okay. Oh, mic cannot use. Oh, he did mention mic cannot use. Okay, no problem. What about Suba? Hi, Suba. Hi, Suba, are you there?
Hi.
Hi, thank you for coming in.
No problem. Oh, thank you for having me around. Thank you to Geeva. I'm Jeeva's friend, actually, invited me for this talk. What Geeva is doing is very noble. And seriously, not many people will indulge in this. And to create awareness and changing people's mindset. Bravo to Geeva and her team. Great job. I wish I could join her, but let's see what happens. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Suba. Yes, Geeva, you see there are so many, wonderful people all around the background, what they are doing. Some are printing papers, some are doing design, even our headmaster is here. We have people who are sailor, So even people who not even working yet, like Carmen and our Arwin here. So we have a very diversified, background for listening what you're talking. So a little bit about shipping. I cannot, I cannot tell lies like because we have one sailor here as well. Maybe if I say something wrong, I can backfire. So so for ships, we actually have a very strict garbage management, right? So it has been practiced, especially recently, because of the regulation we had in the maritime industry. So you can see many of the time where the garbage came floating on the beach itself. For sailors like us, if we see this, for ships, we actually have categorized a lot of types of ships, including those who work in the ocean going and those in a coastal, including fishing boat, all these things. So the practice of them, based on their education background is very diversified as well. So you can see people who are doing the coasting, which is a very domestic type of ships. They don't tend to practice much on this kind of garbage management comparing with us. The reason why, because for ships that are ocean going, we have to be very tip-top condition in terms of recordings, as well as keeping the garbage to land ashore. We cannot throw, actually, if you are aware, we cannot throw garbage at all now, except for food, all right? So food, we will throw only a distance away from the land, all right? There's a particular distance away from the land we can throw. But the problem came to when ships that let's say has been coasting very near, like China. Okay, China is a very big country. They have a lot of ports there. So China itself, if we go to Hong Kong, Shanghai, so this kind of place we consider as coastal. So it's still considered China territory. So if we are 1 week there, we can't throw the garbage near the coast water. So we need to have a very big space to keep our food, all right? Because we eat food every day on the ship, and we have to find a way to throw them as well. So because people will come and check the food, so when our ship reach to a port, the immigration, not the immigration, the health clearance people, they will come to give us a health receipt, all right, to certify that this ship is clear for quarantine or health checks, including the garbage as well. So they'll come and check, is there any rats, any rats, because they will feel that you are bringing disease from somewhere else to their local port, local terminal. So we have been very strict in this for the past 15 years. I was in this industry. So this has been going on for a very long time, and it will be getting stricter and stricter. So if you ever found that any garbage on the beach itself, of course, not because of the big ship, but mainly because we have other type of ships where other type of practice, they don't really bother that much. Like example, like local, very small country or very a little bit weak country in terms of governance, like let's say like Malaysia. If you talk about Penang, my hometown itself, the people who checking this garbage for the domestic ships or domestic boats is not that strict compared with country like Singapore, Hong Kong, Shanghai. These places you can't get fined, and because when you get fined, you have blacklisted, and the reputation of the company as well can be affected. Yeah. So yeah, Geeva, maybe I talk too much. So you can continue your talk as well. We'd like to hear from you. Perhaps like what Sofian did mention, the something about nature, and David also talking about villages awareness. And yeah, maybe you can continue going on, Geeva.
All right. Okay. Thank you, James. I think before that, Michael, do you have a question? Because I saw you raising your hand twice.
I have just two things. First question for you. You do your work yourself, you attract a lot of other people. But did you already include a part of the education in your journey, which means I am, for example, because I'm doing my job since 2013 already, so slightly longer. So I am visiting regularly schools to teaching the kids how not to generate the waste, so how to prevent the waste happen. By being the role model and sharing exactly the images as you have. I have few images which you will probably do the same like me. When I was seeing that, I was crying, and it was in a factory. You speak about the waste, which is generally being on the beach. But I was in a factory where came a full truck of tomatoes, or not tomato, radish, and it was thrown away because the leaves has been not green enough. Immediately, 20 tons, one factory. And my client has 5 factories and throw away 400 tons a month in one. So you can imagine the volume. So this is why I think the education and the journey which you spoke about, and David spoke and James spoke about, the language, it's so important. This is why I say all the time, bring to the people some benefit. And I don't speak only about money, okay? It can be the clean beach, it can be the health of the children, it can be a lot of, I call it benefits, and the people will follow you. They will not follow you because it will be your benefit. They will follow you because they will feel it is their own benefit. And this is exactly the way how you are doing by being the role model. Just now has to be improved the language to the people, and everybody in every single city and village and school will follow you because you do a great work.
Thank you, Michael. To address that, okay, and also to address to Inche Hisham, all right, particularly to the schools. We have been approached by the many municipals within Malaysia and also by organization bodies to come and educate the school students. Yeah, so that is already in the pipeline. Some syllabus has already been put in to work with some. In fact, I must advocate that Sepang Municipal has been the one who's very closely working with us, who really wants us to go and educate the school students. In fact, they want us to make a shift in the mindset because they are our future. They are the one who's going to make the difference for us. Yes, that's part of the plan, and we have already started some initiative on that. We work also very closely with many other corporate organizations because part of our event, every time we have cleaned a beach, for instance, the university students comes and approach us a lot because they want our data. Initially, we were kind enough to share our data, but we made a shift. If you want the data, you have to come and work. You need to know what you're collecting. We need to, you see, the thing is, we can teach you everything what to do, right from A, right to the Z, what to do. But we need to know why you're doing it. We need to know, we need to understand where's this objective of your project going to, and what is your next step. All right, so we started getting the university students to give us a project paper, tell us what is this objective, what are you going to do, what's your next action. So nowadays, whenever the students come to us, they go like, oh, you want a project paper from us? I say, yes. And I need it to be signed by your dean, because we need to know exactly where is this project going to and what's next. Is it just one time you come and clean the beach? So we are already in a very silently, we are already getting the students to do some work. And we want to know what is the results, what are you going to do next in your university? What is the continuity of your project? So that is part of the project purpose. That has become like a requirement if they want to actually engage or work together with My Clean Beach today. With schools, that's the initiative that is being taken up now. It's not full swing, we have to say, because of the pandemic, we are a little slow, we are a little behind, but we are not going to stop. The education will still continue. Why this method so much? In many of my travels that I went, and in one of it got my attention very, very strongly. I was out having a drink on the streets. And in this particular country, drinking in a bottle and giving it back to the shop is something can be done very immediately. You know, they pay you back a couple of cents, you know, you collect back. But what happened was when I was out for a drink and we just drink directly from the bottle, instead of wrapping it up because we were away in the car, my friend just threw it to the forest. And I was like, why did you do that? And they said, oh, this is it. And that's the only answer I got. That is it. But that got me thinking, really, is that it? Would you do that in your home? Would you do it just within the vicinity of your home? So I realized people care less if it's outside their comfort zone. Nobody really cares. So it's actually, so when we initiated this, probably a lot of people will be saying, no, you're initiating it because you want to collect the trash and all that. There is no single profit for My Clean Beach on this. But the biggest profit we are reaching out to, when you see what we do, we hopefully think that you go back and encourage your family, your friends to copy something that we do. Just copy something. Go back and tell them, you know what? Maybe this bottle can be recycled. Maybe we can drop it off at the recycle center. Think about how much papers you're using in the office. Think about all the Tupperwares that we buy in Malaysia. We have heaps of it. Everybody likes a Tupperware collector. How much are you keeping and how much are you really giving it away, or how much can you recycle? So our intention is make a shift. So whenever we do this activity, we do it at public places. It's good for our branding. Definitely, we're not going to deny that, but we want people to see what we do. We want the public to come and say, hey, what are you all doing? We are just collecting the trash. Ask, is somebody paying you all to do this? No, we're just doing it for fun. And people come and collect. They just come and collect. Oh, can I have a bag? Can I collect? Yeah, please. And the other thing that we do when we see a family having a picnic, when we have cleaned the beach, we give them a bag. They'll go like, why are you giving me a bag? Please make sure that after you finish eating, pack it up and drop it off at the area where it's designated to throw. Silently, we had to educate people because people have forgotten it's a public area and we need the nature more than the nature needs us. So it's difficult to change people, but we can always try. So every time after we do a beach clean, after a couple of hours, we always have a small education. Either it's a plastic or any topics that we talk about, that we bring, and especially if the students come in, we make them do a research and tell us what is your findings, what can you do differently. We have become a bit more stricter over the days because we want them to do something so that they can bring back some value. And among us, we rotate. See, we are a very small team. My Clean Beach is a very small team. We have Padro, we have John, and a couple more of us who are all full-time professionals. And we all just do this at our free time. So for all of you in this room, or some of you are already engaged in this kind of activity in your life, the answer to it, the first question is, why do we do it? It's just because of our love for the environment, for the love of the nature, because we hope in whatever we do, we can instill some passion, some thought in somebody's mind that I too can make a difference. I too can make a small shift. And anything small is valuable. Don't value yourself, oh, you know what, I'm not cleaning the beach. Does that mean I'm not contributing enough? Inche Sofian said earlier, Inche Sofian and I connected on LinkedIn and we started chatting lately. I comment on his post. He takes lovely, beautiful nature photos. All right. So he just goes around. He has mentioned once before, he just wants to clean the river. And I must say, Fadro is another person who loves to clean the river as well. Okay. So there are people who are very passionate in this. Yes, Inche Sofian.
Yeah, if I can add, I think I'm following what you're saying there, but see, the path I took was I do it all on my own, okay, and as I said, if we do it, even if you don't have a group, I do it on my own for, I think, one reason, because to keep up the consistency is very hard when you do in a group, because next week there'll be somebody else. So I can tell you, every week I'm somewhere, every week, okay. So to keep that kind of persistence, and I'm talking about not last year too, I've been doing it for 30 years, every week. And then when you go into communities, and this is the thing why I end up doing articles and books and getting corporate to support it, because after you clean out the beach, they only remember you there. I find that part of the education, we don't have enough material to educate people. I think this is partly, I don't know, our culture in Malaysia or what. I think this is something that we're not literally minded. We don't teach our children to say, oh, look, read a lot of this, a local version of the National Geographic. There isn't one, actually. Yeah. And I think if you read the Nature magazine from MNS as well, I don't think it's good enough. Yeah. In fact, I was a member of MS one time, but I just gave up because it's not good enough. And I think we need to tell the story. Now, behind me here, you see the picture of this Orang Asli house. This particular place is absolutely pristine. Yeah, we need to be telling these people's story. I think part of the problem is, I know you're doing good work like this, but when you go down to the beach and clean, and then you have a picnicker there, they actually look at you like a foreign person, like an alien, you know? I mean, even if you give them a plastic bag, they think, what the hell is this, you know? So something to the core needs to change, you know, so that they embrace you rather than treat you as an alien, you know? And the education level is not at that level, actually, it's way, way beyond. And I think, so we all need to do our part, but clearly one thing that's lacking, at least in Malaysia, yeah, is telling the story so that each story is a mentoring concept in itself. You know? Like for example, you know, as I said, I like to show like, you know, sometimes my screen, I change it all the time, you know, and people say, okay, where do you get that picture from? Then I tell them, look, this is how, you know, you don't see rubbish in this village. Why is it you don't have rubbish there? And then the city folks come in, there's actually a river behind it. The only filthy thing is the city people go there and have a picnic and leave the rubbish. Yeah, so this is the education part. But the problem is when you go and tell this guy, stop throwing rubbish, okay, you know, he might think you're rude, or he might, you know, okay, sorry about it. And then he goes away, you know. I think these people in this village that is keeping this village clean, their story need to be told, so that when the city folks come there, they're embarrassed, you know, to even dirty up the place. I think the sense of belonging is not there. Yeah, that was the word I was looking for. The sense of belonging, that wherever you go in this world, in this planet, you know, we all have this responsibility, you know. Otherwise, we're always looking for a champion like you, having to clean up the rubbish for them. We don't want champions. Everybody needs to have the sense of belonging, you know, so that we don't have champions. It's like, this is my home. Why should I dirty up this place? That concept, it hasn't been taught and drilled down into our society. That's a problem. You know, we don't take ownership. So we always think this is somebody else's place, and that's why we throw the rubbish. So my journey is different. I spend a lot of time. Actually, part of the reason I take all these pictures, because I put them in all these articles, and I get corporate sponsors to put up books and things like this. And then they give out, like the last book I did for Pengerang, it was actually distributed to schools, you know, for free. Yeah, so this is the kind of thing that we need to do. There was another project that I was involved in where we went to this jungle village and took photos of all the jungle recipes of these ladies that were, you know, cooking there. It's not so much the recipe, it's just that when you show that environment and all that, you feel like, okay, you know, this is part of why I belong to, you know. This is the kind of message that we need to see, you know. Anyway, it's not my show now, you guys have to talk.
No problem.
No, you're absolutely right in what you said. Everybody needs to take responsibility. Everybody needs to take ownership. But as you said today, people lack that area. People lack in taking ownership, and I don't quite understand why they lack when this is their home. So sometimes it's quite sad to see that why people lack that ownership in them. So what people like we and in yourself and Sofian, we just can continuously to make that effort that we can, and we cannot change everyone, but I think we can continuously make the effort. But why I'm trying to comment on this is because we were receiving a lot of requests from the corporate organizations to come and tell them how they can actually be part of an environment project. So initially, you know, even we started scrutinizing because a number of organizations started hunting us down, saying that, you know, they want to come and clean the beach clean up. So we started asking them, what is your real objective of doing this initiative? What are you taking back to your organization? What kind of a shift are you going to do for your organization? Because if it's just a one-time activity, you know, everybody come, yeah, I'm cleaning a beach, you know, you take photos and you put your social media, yeah, you look really good. But what difference are you doing at your workplace? So we started going, first we were doing that with the universities, asking them in detail. Then we shift to the corporates as well. So what is your objective? What are the shifts that you're going to do? What is the sustainability that you're going to start introducing to the organization? So although we did a few beach cleans in the 2020, that initiative has been put in for some of the corporate organizations. So interestingly, we did a co-collaboration with a hospital last year. And they are already starting with a recycle paper initiative in their organization, because they said this is where they wanted to start. Come and see the kind of trash they find in the ocean at the beach area. Yeah, come in the beach area. And they were already starting a recycling paper model. So, I mean, But if you look at it in a different way, every little shift, every little effort they put in actually matters. So that's what that hospital is actually doing. They started that last year. So everybody just need to do something. I think that's the point. Everybody just need to do something. Whether if you're at your work, think about what are you doing at your work. If you're at home, think about what you can do at home. And of course, to the society, community, technology, wherever it applies, everybody just need to do their part. See,
sorry to interrupt. Can I add something? Sorry to interrupt.
Sure,
You're talking
no
about everybody needs to do something. Here's a real experience. I've been going to what do you call it, near Trono, you know where University Petronas is, for many years in and out, because there's a particular area where there's a certain kind of bird bird species that is breeding there, and I've not found it anywhere in Malaysia, but only there. They were breeding, and on the ground, they were breeding on the ground. They were breeding in the used tin mine land, you know. Somehow they like the white sand, that kind of sand. So they're all breeding there. It's a fantastic place. And now it's gone because they built a residential area there. But from the early days, I was knocking on the door of UTP, which is around the corner. And I said, every time I go to do my jungle track, that area, I'm inviting any student to come along so that I can show them, you know. And I've been knocking on the door so many times. And out of it, they even, one of the years, they even asked me, oh, look, Sofian, can you actually do a desktop calendar for us? So I did that, just taking nature found in the university ground only. Okay, so I did that only to encourage the students to appreciate it. Now, back to my invitation. 3 years I've been knocking on their door, right? I was even involved in, they now knew about me and they liked the idea. So one of the years, their desktop diary and their notebook, the students' notebook, all the photographs in there were mine. They were nature photos, but particularly found in the university so that I can interest them to look around. Nobody came. I talked to the deputy dean and I said, look, this is free, right? See, the problem is it's a society issue, right? These students, unless they contribute to their marks or whatever it is, they're not going to volunteer, even though it's just less than 20 minutes away from where they were. So this is the problem. Like, we're all here saying, okay, look, everybody has to support, but we need to find answers how to get them to support. I think that's the deeper question that we need to answer, because if we can answer that, then our work will be easier. I think this is the problem.
Interesting. Yes, Michael, yes.
It is, Sofian, it is really connected to the benefits which you offer to them. So for the student, of course, it's very different benefit. For them, they have to make a good science and so on. For the CEO of a company, I'm asking the CEO only one question. Do you want to generate waste or money? In 8 years, I receive only one answer. And it is difficult to find the right benefit for everyone, but it is possible. We say in Industry 5.0, we build wasteless world. Do you want to live on a landfill or on a blue planet? And I can tell you, everyone in the world answered the same. You mentioned the hospital. This is made out of dangerous waste from hospital. Made in India, it's a construction material. Very unique, but not specific, but it's a unique technology called heat compression. It's the only piece in Europe. It's here on my table. So we have the tools. And you are right, we have to put them the right way. But we have to find the right language and the benefit. If you find a benefit for the students, let's say, if the visit or to go with you, it's connected to their evaluation in the school, everyone will join. But it's something like a pressure. That's not the right one. But I am sure, I was never in Malaysia. I hope I will be there, but I am sure there will be something. Just find it. If you find it, you have everyone.
Yes. Very nice sharing, Michael and Sofian. Both are quite very much diversified ideas based on what they have experienced. So Geeva, maybe you can add on from what they are saying, you know, like Sofian did mention the effects before and after. I mean, from the mining, birds breeding, and now it's gone for obviously the monetary purposes for residential area now. And even Michael did talk about companies like have a very nice picture behind Sofian, the insect. Yeah. So yeah, Jiva, yeah, maybe you can share a little or two, perhaps from your view on this case. You're muted, Jiva.
I mean, I think the point Michael and Sofian was sharing mainly about things what can be done to make a difference. I think that's where they both were embarking in, that change needs to happen. And then, I mean, change needs to happen, meaning that means people need to be to understand, to make the difference. All right. And I think that's where they both were saying, but as what I'm trying to say is, that's all we all are trying to do as well, trying to instill the small changes. I mean, what Michael has been doing, what Sofian has been doing, is trying to instill the same kind of changes. And what we are doing is also in a small way trying to do the changes. Is it there is like about 20 of us in this room at this point of time? All right. If 20 of us were to bring this value back and do some kind of a changes, you know, human nature is we copy what others do, whether we like it or not. We tend to copy. Oh, I like what this person is wearing. I like the way the person has written. I like the way how this person's profile is. Oh, I like the way how this person speaks. Why not copy this attitude as well? I like a better environment. If these 17 or 18 of us in this room that is just speaking to each other now can do that, somebody will recognize that behavior of you. Why not make the change?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think we can start. And with that, we all can have a civilized presence around, you know.
Thank you very much, Jiva. You know, you have been very, very much involved with this waste collect, because you know a lot of people attended this session. It also proves that you know, my poster actually works very well quite effective because people have been having said, you know, I've been seeing this poster, don't know what is it about, but still coming in because of the poster, the content. So indirectly, it somehow I'm very happy because somehow my message, my intention very clear, that being successful, able to attract these people without knowing what is it about, but they just look into the poster and they just come in. Yeah. And you'll be very surprised. We have okay, one person already left. So previously we have 20. So you can imagine we have 20 people here from all around the place only talking about collecting the trash. So it's so amazing, you know. I mean, people, we have a common interest here. Although there are people who are not talking here, or maybe they are afraid to voice out, but it's okay. So thank you very much, you know, Jiva, for everything tonight. So if there's anything I'd like to add on now before I open up the breakout room to assign breakout room for every one of us here to talk with each other before we end the talk show tonight, right? So just give me 1 minute.
James, I think
Yes.
I agree with Jiva. It's
Yeah.
it's about ownership. You know, I have this experience while I was in Penang. Okay, we have a very good relationship with Sahabat Alam Malaysia in Penang. Okay, they have this collaboration with E&O Properties in Neighborhood doing their CSR in a project called Penang Green Project, if I'm not mistaken, way back in 2015. Okay, so a group of school in Tanjung Tokong and Tanjung Bunga is grouped together on a project. You know, this food waste, okay, put into good use. You know, we make it into, what do you call it? We gather it with soil, you know, to make what do you call it, substance for plants. Okay, and then every pupil is given a plot, okay, a plot of a piece of say about 3 square meters, for them to really work on it. Okay, so in a week's time they come back, and then they will see what are the plants that grow in that plot of land. So I think we have to start it from at early stage, you know, where pupils at the tender age, they know what they can contribute to the nature. So I think we need to what do you say, enhance on our reaching out to corporate company, to maybe university, to join hands together to make this thing a very fruitful project, not only confined to maybe to Geeva or maybe to me alone, but then to others as well. So this will have change management. You see that we have to inculcate findings that we need to take care of our nature, so that in time to come we still can maintain, okay, the good quality of air, the good quality of streams, water, and so on. So I think maybe the effort being done by Geeva should be enhanced, so that it reach out to many people around us. So that is my take. Thank you.
Thank you, Hisham. I think the most important thing is I think the schools can play a very important role. Sorry, Michael, I just want to answer one question that was in the chat box. James, I think I can take a minute on that.
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, I wanted to highlight from Sham. Sham did mention about a question, very good questions. I'm very sorry, Sham, that I missed out your question. He asked, how often do you return to beach to clean it, and how dirty it is? And as it says, first time it was clean, like 1 ton of rubbish, and a month later, half a ton, for example. Yeah, if perhaps you can have a view on that.
Okay. Let's take one location, and I'm going to mention this location very loudly, Pantai Remis, because I keep saying the first time we went there, we collected 1.1. The second time we went there, we collected, I can't remember whether John and Federal can help me with that. But we did not collect 1.1, but we still had quite a high amount of trash. You see, to answer Sham this question, the trash continuously be there. At the first time when we collected 1.1, we managed to collect all the big trashes because we had 10 4x4 vehicles who joined us at this point of time, and we had quite a long stretch of distance to clear as well. Okay, and the second time when we went there, what we found is not the bigger trash, but it's still the human trash, because that particular location, even the municipal is having a problem dealing with people. People love to come there over the weekend to have picnics. They enjoy their time there, but they just make a mess. So much so, even the third-party vendors that are appointed, they are feeling the frustration of going deeper inside to clean. They are depending people like us to do the job. But of course, the weight or the how much we collected reduced, but the trash is an ongoing problem issue at that location. So to answer the question, yes, it reduced, but it did not stop the problem, because we have got people there, community who come there, who doesn't really care about the environment.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
There's another question from Susanna. She said, I'd like to know how you get the university students to involve directly in the cleaning activity. We do not go and look for the university students. The universities are aggressively approaching us because environment is their top topic these days in their university. It's a project they have to do. That's why we come out with rules and how they need to be able to participate with us. They need to submit a project paper. We need to know what is the end result and what is their continuity. And the project papers are always approved by their dean before we accept them.
Right. All right. So,
sorry, I think Michael had a question, I think.
Yes.
It's not a question. at the very beginning, we spoke about protection equipment, which make a lot of waste currently on the street, beaches, and so on. This is what I carry for 1 year. It's a protection mask. I carried for 1 year, so I bought it one. It cost me $100 US. Generally, this is exchangeable. And I can tell you, I'm not just walking and riding on my electric unicycle. I'm loading trucks by my hand, so really hard work with it. And still, I have only one. I never throw in this whole pandemic time. I never throw a single use item away. And here we are about one of the key issues. It's not the plastic. It's not the metal, aluminum. No, single use is the issue. If we will use as a single use something made from wood, we will have a trouble because there will be no wood.
Yes.
So we have to teach the people single use is the issue, not the plastic. Plastic is just one of the material you can turn it back to the crude oil. This technology exists for 50 years. Yes. It's not used, but exists. So I just would like to show, I put in the chat, this is a Czech, our country producer generally, he even supplied to American Army. So, and this is a full protection device, complete. So what I would like to say about the single use, and this is why it happened again and again, because the people do not think single use. Maybe they think recycling, but they don't think single use.
Yes, you're right, Michael. Thank you very much. Oh yes, Sofian. Oh, I can see change photo again behind.
So yeah, this is an interesting picture because the hornbill is actually pecking on a piece of rope. Okay, and that's wrong. Okay, so that's why I use this, because you can't see it's behind me, but there's a piece of rope that it picked up, and it's actually opening up a hole for its home, because you know, that's what they do. But they're bringing in ropes into the thing, and then when the babies grow up, they'll start eating that. That's really wrong. But anyway, what I want to bring up is the role of government. Yeah, you know, this is part of the problem, you know, because you got government, what are they doing? Yeah, and the problem is it actually, you know, well, you know, the ministers, whoever it is, representing the people and all that, they want to try to win votes. So one thing they're always trying to say, you know, the environment ministry and all this, they're going to do this, all that. And I think the problem is they oversell themselves, that then the public think that somebody else is going to clean up. Yeah, I think that's part of the problem. Because obviously, when you want to win an election, you're going to say, I'm going to clean up the beaches, I'm going to do this. And I mean, which minister is not going to say that? Yeah. And I think when they oversell like that, we vote them in. And I think in the mindset, that's when people get lazy. Yeah, they think, oh, somebody's going to clean up. And then the worst thing is you never hear of a public official or minister, because they are afraid of losing their jobs. You never hear them scolding the public for dirting the beaches and the rivers. You never hear them. And that's why we get cases like, you know, the water that's, you know, the polluting the rivers in Selangor that's causing the water shortages. You never hear them, because when they complain to the public about what, you know, they're not keeping the beaches clean, then they're afraid to lose votes. So it's like a vicious cycle. You know, the powers that be that should be doing this is not doing it. Yeah. And then the expectation of the people for having voted them in, that they're going to handle that, but it's not happening. And then when it's not happening, the powers that be themselves are not scolding the public for doing it. So it's a vicious cycle. So then who is in charge? So we're back to the same question: who's responsible?
Yes.
Anyway. I just want to add on to that, without even going into the political views. Just a simple thing: cleaning a few beaches around Malaysia. Every municipal in the state operates differently. There's no standard rule how it's being done. There's no standard kind of a support. So every time we work we try to go and clean the beach at its different county, it's a totally different rule. So can you see there is no even standardization at that level? So it's so challenging, and we have to, like, every time we start cleaning a new location, it's like we got to start learning the whole process. Oh, it's going to take a month to get an approval. Some say, you know, you don't. That's why I said, even at that point, even at the municipal level, there is no consistency. Some places within a week we get an approval and they'll tell us what kind of support. Some might be right 2 months, a month. So can you see when there's inconsistency at that level, support, cleanliness, everything else doesn't work in the same format. It's challenging. It's rather challenging. Right, James, I think I let you take over the session and we need to have a breakout room, right? Yes.
All right. Yes, I'd like to have a breakout room now with very relevant people in the room. So you'll be very surprised. Okay. So it's very manual participants, which I've been handpicked myself while you are talking. I actually handpicked. So I knew who are quite relevant in the same room. So I limit to 2 people for a very greater discussion. All right. So I'm going to click now. You all can just click join and can just fly off to the room now. Thank you very much. And we'll be back again, all right, for before closing.
Hi, James.
Hey, Felix, you'll be staying here, huh? You'll be staying here with me, huh?
Oh, can.
So let me see. Who else is there? Hey, Sham, thanks. What about this? Suba, it's a uphill task to change the mindset. I think Suba already went. No, Suba, I think you have to click join. You have a call? Okay, no problem. You can. I can see you some other time. Thank you very much.
My battery running low actually, so
really?
I might cut off. So when my battery gone, then I go.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, thanks. Thanks for coming this event.
No, I learned something also from here. I mean, like they really give like impactful stuff here.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I like about yeah, thank you Anna, thank you. Nanti kita sembang Anna.
Like.
Yeah, it's a very how to say very matured session You can see people come in they really have an interest there. No coming sembang kosong really for a purpose one. So it's very nice. They have a common interest. So very narrow down. So you attract different type of people. I mean, I try to attract different type of people. You can see we have a teacher, the last one our guru besar, right? So we have now this one kutip sampah one. So we have more quite diversified So I mean, try to utilize my time as well, right? So sitting here, do nothing, people writing content. I also don't know what to write already on LinkedIn. So people keep on talking about writing content. I somehow doing a talk because I think some people are not very good in writing. There are some of them they are good in talking. So it will be a good platform for them to talk the things that they're good at, which like this kutip sampah, right? So it's not very technical thing You don't have to be a graduate how to kutip a sampah. It's somehow like a passion, So it goes with many of the other talks as well I mean, they do this talk for passion, and I also very down when people turn me off. I mean, like reject me, say, hey, I don't give free talk I don't like to inspire people. I want to earn money only. Don't come and look for me. I have no time for free talk.
People will say like that.
No, so I very sad like you no support me, okay Don't support me, it's okay, but don't say things like that, right? So I remember those. I'll never forget those people I mean, who reject me, underestimate me, say, hey, you waste your time why you do this? No money, you're not earning money, you're doing this. But I also remember those who support me. That if you look at my previous speaker, right, those very king one like Dr. Wendy, Intan, they are so busy, yet they still give free talk. And their talk, I tell you, if you look at the recording, right, it's like you have to pay for the talk one. You can feel like, wow, this talk really expensive
Quality
type of sharing.
quality content.
So that's the thing I did get ghosted by people say I don't give free talk. I even have people who oftenly give expensive talk but still give a free talk. This kind of thing.
People judge a lot.
A lot So yeah. So how are you in Singapore? Is it okay? You over there? How are you? I mean, always Dato Alia asks, how are you? Dato Alia, she always have the initiative asking us to ask how are you here and there, right? So yeah, how are you?
Yeah, okay, just doing like normal, going because I'm working on a job that I didn't really like. So, but then because back then I don't have a particular interest on what I want to do in life, so I just
But
like
what
go do
attracts
it.
you to Singapore at the first place? Because of the currency?
One is the currency, two is my girlfriend is here already.
But
So
why long distance?
yeah, she's here before I graduate. Then after that, she didn't like her job. She resigned. Then circuit breaker happened. So she can't get a job here. So she had to go back out. Then up till now, I haven't seen her yet. Yeah,
So do you have any
most
plan? I mean, okay, how old are you now?
25.
Still early lah, still 25 only. I thought you are 28, not 30 already. Still young lah, 25.
Still young, man.
Still young, still young.
I mean,
Trust
like
me.
slowly, how to say, because I have, I'm not the kind of guy who like go for it. Like last time when I was studying, I'm just like, okay, I just study, and then because I study also when I secondary I finished school, right, I wanted to come out and work already, but my mom knows that the importance of having a degree, so she forced me to go in and like study. But then
But what you
during
study? Study for what? What subject?
public relations, yeah, also communication stuff.
So does it actually help you to land this job as an insurance agent?
No, this job is like normal because they are all one sales guy, so they all want sales people. So they are hiring a lot of Malaysians and also China people. Yeah. So that time when I came in also like, okay lah, got the money, the salary is high, so just join in and try out myself because counted 3 months of training and then 6 months of probation.
So just between you and me lah. I mean okay, never mind. I'll ask you later lah because it's recording. Wanted to ask how much is the salary. It's okay, it's okay. So yeah, so how's the life there? Do you have a good time there, or you know?
Yeah, not bad. I tend to enjoy